Hey there, I'm Tyler Lunsford, and you're watching a review of Mystical Float. What is up, you beautiful people? My name is Tyler Lunsford, and welcome back to another magic trick review here on the channel. Now, if you're new here, then definitely please consider subscribing and take a look around the channel at my past reviews. Now, if you're already here, then welcome. Thank you for stopping by and spending some time in today. I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much for being here, because you really didn't have to be. And if you have been here for a while, or maybe you haven't, but you want to consider supporting the channel, then I'd absolutely appreciate that. You can go to tylerlunsford.com, look at the merchandise, buy a t-shirt, buy a hat, anything like that, or buy one of my personal projects that I've released, one of my downloads, or playing cards. Also sell that physical stuff. Check it all out if you wouldn't mind. And if you can't buy anything, I totally get it. I do. But just thank you for checking it out. It really does help me out a lot, and it helps me keep the lights on, buy more magic, and all sorts of stuff like that. So thank you so much. But like I said, if you can't afford it, just thanks for watching, and I hope you watch till the end to learn something about Mystical Float, because that's what we're reviewing today. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this review right now. First off, you need to know what actually is Mystical Float. Well, Mystical Float is a really unique way and a solution to floating heavier objects. Mystical Float is an extremely visual way to bring a watch into play. Watch when the body of the watch is standing, balanced on your hands, and then float it slowly and visually, briefly past to the waiting hand. The watch can immediately be handing out, and it could be borrowed. You do not need to use thread, any loops, no strings, no reels, no magnets, or anything like that because of this specially designed and unique method. What we will be receiving if you decide to purchase this, we will be getting a downloadable video that is about 10 minutes long or a little less than that, and on there you learn how to make the gimmick and how to actually perform the effect. The tutorial video has subtitles and has music behind it, so you won't actually hear the creator talk any. Now that you know what Mystical Float is and what you'll be receiving, let's talk about some more things and some more questions you may have, such as how difficult is it to perform? Well, it's actually pretty easy to do because the gimmick does all the work for you. The hardest part is going to be concealing the gimmick and making sure that you get the watch that's borrowed loaded onto the gimmick without your spectators knowing or noticing that you're doing anything fishy. How are your angles for Mystical Float? Your audience needs to be in front of you looking straight at the watch and watching it levitate as you do the effect. Is this examinable? Yes, the watch can be examined because it can be borrowed. Obviously, they don't really know what the gimmick is, so they wouldn't want to examine it because they never know about it or even see it. How's the DIYs? Now, since this is a downloadable video, you know we have to talk about this. If there's a gimmick involved, you have to build it because you're not getting things shipped to you. So how difficult, how hard, how long is it going to take? It's probably going to take you about maybe 15 minutes to build this gimmick. It's not going to take that long, but you might have to go out and buy some things if you don't have them lying around your house. It shouldn't take too much money to build this, maybe like $5-10 bucks, if that. It's not expensive. It will just take a little bit of resources to make sure you find the right ones. How's the setup and reset for this effect? Well, once you build the gimmick, you have to load it into place, and once you do that, it maybe take a minute out of view of your spectators. That will be just something you do every time before you perform it, but once it's there, you're good for the night. You don't have to do anything about it until you're ready to be done performing this effect for the evening. Are there any negatives when it comes to performing Mystical Float? Unfortunately, there are a few. One is that there are some clothing restrictions. You need to be wearing long sleeves for this. Another thing is you need to be wearing darker colored material on your shirt. It just helps conceal the gimmick better, but there are some restrictions there. Another thing is that I feel like it's a little clunky when you're applying the gimmick to a borrowed watch, or just a little weird movement when you do it. So if you can just figure out a way to get that down, make it easy, make it fast, then you should be fine. Also, your angles are a little restrictive because you have to look at it from the front. If you're on the sides or anything, then you might be seeing something you're not supposed to. But besides all those restrictions, and one more thing I will say, your lighting. Be careful of your lighting. If you're in a darker environment, it's going to work better. What are the positives to performing Mystical Float? Well, I do think that this is a cool way to float a heavier object. I just think that there are some restrictions involved, but the actual method is pretty neat, and I think that floating a borrowed watch is a nice effect. What should this retail as? Well, this currently retails as $13 US, and is that a fair price? I think it should be more like $8 to $10, just because for what you get, and you have to possibly go out and buy something if you don't have it at home, and you have to make the gimmick and all sorts of stuff like that. I just think it should be a little cheaper because I just don't think $13 justifies this trick. What would I give this out of 10? I'm going to give this a 7.6 out of 10. The reason it's getting that score is because I just don't see myself performing this in real life. There's just too many restrictions for me and where I perform at. I don't want to be restricted to performing in, a darker clothes or wearing long sleeves or anything like that, or the angles part of it looking straight on at the watch. But I do think that this will make a really cool social media video, and if you do meet the restrictions and you're performing in that type of area with that type of clothing, then I think it would be a cool trick for you. So it really just depends on what you like, what your restrictions are, but for me, it's getting that rating just because me personally, I don't see myself using this in real life. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to purchase the effect, the link for it is in the description down below. Now also in the description is a link to my Instagram page. There you can follow me on Instagram at TowerLensForMagic. There I post all sorts of behind the scenes, Q&As, sneak peeks, and you can reach out if you have any questions or comment down below on this video if you have any questions, and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. Also, if you would like to reach out or support the channel or anything like that, then definitely check out my website because that is a really cool place to do it. I have merch there. It's worldwide shipping that's free, so you can buy something, and I don't care where you live in the world, I'll ship it to you for free if you're buying any merchandise. And so thank you so much, really, for being here, watching all the way to the end, and thank you to the creator for sending me this product so I could do the review for you beautiful people out there. Now without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and hopefully I'll see you in another video I post sometime soon. See ya!